Yeah, no, we'd like to
Shout
thank.
outs to Big E, man.
Shout outs to Big E Gaming. They had us for Summer Jam 12. It was an amazing event. Great time was had by all, and frankly, we can't thank them enough for the faith that they had in us to host the Smash 4 tournament. And we're glad that they're having us back because we respect the heck out of them, and we're glad that they hold us in a positive light. So it's been very, very cool.
Absolutely.
Partnering with them. So. As we're seeing you kind of climb your way back into the Philly PR, you made a couple of grand finals. You've made some of the PR's life pretty darn difficult in the past couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
You've scored a victory against Juice.
Yep. Victory against Juice, victory against Spiro, victory against 6WX, victory against BDB, victory against Yoda. Basically, the whole PR who is still basically active here, I have beaten. But it's not about me, though. At the end of the day, it's all about who's going to be on that Philly PR and who's going to be the strongest players to represent when we go out of state. Who are we going to beat when we go out of state? You know what I mean? So, basically, we're going to see what happens. Who knows? I might be on the PR. I might not.
I'll say this: you're making a pretty strong case thus far.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, hey man, don't thank me. You're doing pretty good for yourself. But speaking of which, speaking of strong, you got That's So, Astro, and Pixely. That's Team Astro against Muddy, Raptura, and Snorlax Guy. Now these are all three of the unanimous selections to the Bros Calamity Squall Stars facing off in this matchup. So this is an absolute heavyweight bout, and That's So being a late addition since we have both teams, Empire Arcadia and the Squall Stars, are going to be running three substitutes as needed. So That's So being a late addition. And he... Okay, fair enough. We ought to... Well, I think the thing is that oh yeah, that's right. We wanted to surprise him, and you know what? Hey, you impressed us enough. Want to fight the winningest esports team of all time? It's sort of like we're trying to make it into a Rudy-esque moment, except we're trying to make it into an actually good movie. Anyway, game number 1.
All right. So I do want to point out though.
Get crapped on, Rudy. We're going to the reef. We're riding the tower. And we're playing us some Splatoon 2.
Absolutely. I did want to mention that Muddy, Rapture, his whole team, they're undefeated so far. So if they want to win the tournament, they have to win here. So the pressure is definitely on. Starting on tower control. Ooh, great kill by, who is it? Astro. Taking out Snorlax Guy right in the beginning. Purple team has a strong lead so far.
Well, it's certainly one way to start things off. They take 20 points off the board. 20 ticks to the counter, I should say.
Right.
And they'll bring it back to center, Will Muddy and company. Now, they have struggled on tower control, especially against Chin's and Baki's team, where they were struggling with those weapons from distance, as Moosh definitely providing some support in that area as well with the custom dually squelchers, but Chin's was racking up double digits in kills in both of those games with the jet squelchers, which is why I find it so surprising that they're going with the Splattershot Jr., Neo-Splash-O-Matic, and Sloshing Machine. Right. Relatively close mid-range weapons.
Maybe Team Astro has something up their sleeves that Muddy's team is not ready for. Who knows?
Well, they do hold the lead right now, so they're making a fool out of me. They have a 31-12 advantage, though they looks like Muddy's team will be cutting into that.
Absolutely, they're trying to push their advantage right now, but I feel like Team Astro is having a great defense, holding them at their position where they are right now, not letting them move in. And look at that, tower control. It was clear for a second. Muddy right back on it, trying to figure something out here.
He's not getting greedy. He's hopping on and off as he needs to.
Right.
And Muddy running right into the line of fire for Astro. That's So picking off Snorlax Guy. It's 2-1 on the field. So it's a decent opportunity to push, but they're just going, they're content to let that tower come right back to the middle. And that's so looking to take out. He was distracted by Raptura, but you really do not want to be turning your back on Muddy, Uno.
Exactly. He's such a force to be reckoned with. Like how he is able to maneuver around the enemy's bullets is just amazing. But as I say that,
I mean,
Astro's team is ready and willing to fight back. And as we are watching, they are on the tower and they are in control.
And it's credit to Muddy's team for cutting into the point deficit. It's only a 22-39 deficit that they're sitting at right now, but that's so is sitting at 5 splats right now. Astro, the leader on the field right now with 10, and it's a 2-1 advantage on the field. Excuse me, 3-2 advantage for Astro's team, looking to pick off Raptura. But again, I mean, you really don't want to be fighting that battle with a sloshing machine that can arc so easily over that bridge. It's just one of those little things that maybe that so could have retreated or picked a better spot of aggression.
I feel like with the slosher, with Raptura's positioning.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, the double by that so. And just like that, the push is stopped. It's a 24 to 39 deficit that Muddy's team is going to have to make up here.
Now Astro's team is ready to push that advantage. Look at that, as they're just in complete control. They're just going to continue to push the tower.
Yeah, it's a 3-1 advantage on the field. Raptura putting a stop to it. He has 7 splats on the game thus far. He leads his team.
They need to figure out something. Finally taking it out at 46 remaining points. Can Muddy's team make it back from at this point?
Oh my gosh, he's putting in that work as Raptura. And looks like Astro was hunting for him. Raptura wisely gets out of dodge. And now it's as Astro's team has widened their lead. They're sitting at 54 points compared to 40 now, but they're making a push. They're sitting on the tower. They've taken the lead. Muddy's team is storming back, and that's the sort of courage that it takes to get back into the game. Muddy just kind of sitting on the team, and this is a whole team wipe. Wow. They can cut into the lead even more.
Wow. Now they're just running it down. They're taking all their extra credit that they can from them.
Oh my gosh, and Astro gets taken out at 2-2 on the field.
Muddy finally being taken out. Let's see if that's the thing that they need to push.
You need to get back on the tower. They cannot do it. That's so not able to maneuver up past that last bit of ink. Wow. And Muddy stealing game 1 from Team Astro. They're up 1-0 by a score of 69-54.
That was so close. I feel like Team Astro had all the stage positioning, all the control right in the beginning of the game, and then that last push.
No, you're right, and really that whole time Astro's team, really Astro and That's So outsplatted the entirety of Damu's team. Excuse me, the entirety of Muddy and Raptura's team. They wound up getting, I think, what was it, 24 splats? Did Muddy and Raptura and indeed Snorlax guy.
Yes.
But ultimately they did wind up getting the victory after a very, very hard-fought battle that, frankly, it did not look like they were going to win.
Honestly, it was just, it's always, I feel like you never know what happens in Splatoon 2 until you see the last 30 seconds of the game where anything can really happen. So, and they just took it. Not only did they eliminate the whole team, but they pushed their advantage. Got the victory.
And as we get set for game number 2 here, it's and again I am checking in on social media. Thank you so much for your tweets and your comments at bros_calamity. It's super cool to see all the support that we're getting. And Uno, we really could not do it without the people at home. And hey, if you want people to join the party, if you know someone who likes Splatoon, tell them to check it out right afterwards. We're holding the exhibition between the Bros Calamity Squall Stars, some of the people that you're seeing here, 4 people here, in fact, against Empire Arcadia, the winningest esports team of all time. So it's gonna be a fun time, and we can't wait to be had by the winningest esports team of all time, which is so crazy to think about, quite frankly. It's a team with such history, and now they're entering the realm of Splatoon. It's really cool to think about all the history that like a team that respects history, like Empire Arcadia, and someone that that thrives on being such a gaming historian like Triforce Johnson. To be able to be even a part of that legacy is pretty cool.
Absolutely, and you know what? We are ready. We are ready for you to come down with your team, and we're ready to face off.
Yeah, and this is a pretty good warm-up for the fact, and it's not going to be 3-on-3. It is going to be 4-on-4.
Yeah.
And we could very well be looking at the starting lineup in Muddy, Raptura, Astro, and That's So. We don't know quite yet, folks.
Oh, yeah,
so,
true.
And frankly, neither does Empire Arcadia. So
honestly, it's going to be a toss-up, and we're so excited, and we just can't wait.
Yeah, no, there's so much talent on this team that it's going to be hard to pick. But quite frankly, those are the kinds of problems you want to have as we get set for game number 2 as Muddy, Raptura, and company. that was really crappy to say. Muddy, Raptura, and Snorlax Guy. Though, frankly, Snorlax Guy has been an incredible support player rushing in with that Neo Splash-O-Matic. And he's joined by the Splattershot Jr. of Muddy and the Bloblobber of Raptura. There's a Bloblobber on the orange team as well. Astro's side has a Bloblobber, a Splattershot Pro, and a heavy Splatling. So the Bloblobber being employed, of course, by Pixely, who does pretty decent work with it. Already a special for Astro. He gets the bubbles off in time, but there's only so much you could do with a Splattershot Jr. in your face, you know?
Absolutely. I feel like with the Splattershot Jr., it forces you to pick options that you have to pick a quick option, because when you throw that Splat Bomb, you have to make an option. You have to move. You have to do something. And then the Splattershot Jr., are you going to push forward and then he's going to shoot you in the face, or are you going to try to move back? And then that's what it is. So.
And not only do you have to make that option, you have to make that option while retreating. And just like that, Muddy's team has gone up 39 points remaining. So it's a 61-0 count on the board. Just absolute domination. And that's what happens when you have a team that can rush in like that. Sometimes it's cool to play that it's cool to play that long range game. Sometimes you just need to rush right in, guns blazing. As they do, they have their second barrier breakage of the match. Doesn't look like they're going to get many points scored on it, though. Oh, wait a second, they do! Oh my gosh, Snorlax Guy just running in with no regards for human or squid life, and he takes it down to 34 ticks remaining.
Yeah.
So just like that, it is a 66-0 count in favor of Team Muddy.
Right. Team Astro trying to make something come back here. We see that so with a clam football. Hopefully, if he gets to the goal in time, like, he can make something happen. He takes out Muddy right there. And right behind him is Astro. He has a football as well. But Raptura has something to say about it, playing complete defense, trying to wall him out.
And frankly, this is about the time where you can be forgiven for going on the defensive.
Absolutely.
He's
up to 34 points.
Yeah, they've certainly taken enough of a lead to feel somewhat secure in it, and that's so. Well, he's going to be going for a swim, which is not a good idea considering water is lethal to Inklings. Kind of makes you wonder what kind of psychopath builds a pool. I'm glad Moosh laughed a little bit at that, because honestly, like a pool, that's like filling a pool filled with nitric acid or something for humans.
Like, it's funny because like you're a squid too, so
yeah.
You would think. But I mean, we're obviously
a squid had to have designed this, right? Theoretically. This is some H.H. Holmes level stuff, man. Like, this is not cool. Those of you who know your history with serial killers know exactly what that's about. Anyway, Astro trying to get something going. He's a good backline player, but I don't think sitting on the backline is going to help you much at all. As Muddy rushes in after Astro gets the kill on Snorlax guy. Muddy looks like he's going to be joined by Raptura, but gets caught by that. So, again, such an effective mid-range player. But they are not getting the splats that they need when it counts. That's so leading the team, tied for the lead on the field with 13. Well, that's before Muddy got that splat right there anyway.
So far,
it's a 3-1 on the field. Like, what can you possibly do with your Astros team right now?
Honestly, they're just going to have to just – I don't even know, because they're pushed into a corner. They need to obviously get these kills, get the footballs, and get, like, the goal.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain that. Like, they're in a bad position.
Muddy was in their face the whole match. That was incredibly aggressive and incredibly well played. Good team effort all in all by Raptura, Muddy, and Snorlax guy. 17 kills for Muddy in that match, 11 by Raptura. And that's so, and Astro put up a good fight, as did, frankly, as did Pixely. It was a good effort by all, but ultimately, not a whole lot you can do when you're being presented with that kind of pressure all coming at you at once.
Absolutely. And I feel like this team, because of the great coordination by Muddy, Snorlax guy, and Raptura, when it comes to Clan Blitz, coordination is key. Coordination, teamwork, and all that. Like, you can die a lot in that mode and still come out victorious. No problem. 'Cause if your coordination's good. So I feel like the teamwork is what really took them to that next level, and that's what, provided them the victory.
Now the question is, does Team Astro use their substitute? And the answer is no, because the substitute in question is me. So as we go to Splat Zones for game number 3, at the Reef, and again, this is the second time we're seeing the Reef here today, the second time in this set. Obviously, Astros had something to learn, but Splat Zones is a very different beast in the Reef. It's one set under this bridge. It's the one Splat Zone under the bridge. Yeah. And what do you do exactly when you've got a team like a guy like Astro who can just rain those splatling bullets from above onto you on the bridge? Muddy and Raptura and Snorlax guy, you're talking about two very good up-front players, but they're going to need to find routes in to get above that bridge and definitely neutralize the long-distance threats that Bravo team here provides.
Yeah, definitely. It's all going to be about how they can utilize that bridge to their advantage and how they're going to be able to push it.
And not to mention, I mean, you got to think maybe Pixely goes with a more mobile set to counteract this, and give that and Astro the room that they need to work with. Because let's face it, it's not the most mobile weapon in the world, that heavy splatling.
Absolutely not. Heavy splatling. Let's just call it that.
Yeah.
And of course, you have to charge it. You have to charge it for a decent amount of time before it can splat. So of course, it's gonna it takes a little bit of time, but once it gets firing, it doesn't stop.
Now we do see another Splattershot Pro here, but it's of the Forge variety. Okay. So Muddy Jr. going with the Splattershot Jr. That's no surprise. Bloblobber from Raptura. I only think slightly less of him for that. And the Forge Splattershot Pro being employed by their teammate Snorlax guy. Excuse me. You ever get so excited you hiccup? Either way, Pixely getting right in their face, using those Dapple dualies we've known him to be so adept with. That added mobility definitely going to help. And, yeah, like you said, a more mobile set.
And Team Astro just taking the first step that they needed right after Muddy's team has taken over the splat zone. It's insane.
And you're seeing what they're doing right here. They have taken the lead, and they were not expecting Astro to go N-Zap, a very good close-range weapon, very good at spreading out that ink and covering turf. And while they have regained control of the area, they really did not account for Astro coming onto the front lines and getting in their face like that.
Exactly, and that's what's crazy. Like, when you have a weapon swap like that you're not ready for, because, you know, it doesn't reveal their weapon at the beginning. So they could have just, you know, counterpicked that weapon, and it just worked out for them in that kind of sense. But Team Muddy, Raptura, and That's So are just taking over so far.
It's that's so Astro and
yeah, I'm sorry. I said Muddy, Raptura, and
frankly, it's so fast-paced. I don't blame you for making that kind of mistake.
Snorlax.
So 3-1 on the field right now. They're just trying to get back into position. Our Snorlax guy and company, Astro. I mean, he's been a thorn in their side thus far. Pixely leading the team in splats, giving Astro some room to work with in terms of getting that ink down. They're already halfway done with their counter. It is a 59 to a 30 lead right now for the team, but Raptura and company are cutting down into the lead quite heavily thus far.
And Raptura doing a fantastic job with the bubbler, covering all that space of ink, while his team, you know, maneuvers around, tries to get the kill. But That's So right in the middle, right in the mix, trying to take control of the splat zone. And then now it's just a battle between those two trying to get control.
And Raptura just spamming the area with those blobs.
Yes.
About to pop the bubbly in celebration. If he can get the victory here, his team is up 2-0, and finally gets shot down by That's So with that Splatter Shot Pro. Only has 3 kills in this match thus far.
And there you go, Team Astro getting ready to take control yet again. This has been a whole back and forth match. I feel like what Team Astro's team is striving off of is taking control of the bridge first, and then going in and then taking all of them out.
Just dropping down, yeah.
Right, exactly. Like, they're just doing a good job with that.
And they're neutralizing the more direct threats that Snorlax Guy and Muddy are providing. And credit to Raptura for trying to do his best from distance, but ultimately, I mean, that Ink Storm proving ineffective as Astro sits under the bridge. The double splat with the N-Zap, and Muddy is there to pick up the pieces and maybe gain control back. But right now, they're down to, oh my gosh, they're down to 85, bringing the counter down to its last 10 ticks. Can they get the knockout victory that they so sorely need? That's so victorious! In this Game 3 matchup, Team Astro stays alive. It's 2-1 for Team Muddy, but they get the knockout on Splat Zones. This could be the momentum changer here, Uno.
Are we seeing a repeat? Are we seeing a repeat of history? Team Muddy taking out the first 2 games, and then could they possibly run it back for the next 3? Who knows?
That's the question. Team Demu was doing some work. Team Baki, excuse me, doing some work on them, and whereas I think this is the first time that they've lost in Splat Zones, though. I could be mistaken about that. But wait, did you beat them in Splat Zones Game 4?
We beat them Game 3 and 4, so yeah.
That's right, but it was Splat Zones. Yeah, that's what I was trying to. No, Game 4. No, it was not. Game 3 was Tower Control.
No, Game 4 was Clan Blitz.
Oh.
Game 3 was Splat Zones. No, wait. Game 3
I could have swore Game 3 and 5 were Tower Control. Yeah, 3 was Clan Blitz. Who's on first, folks? As we
Who's on first, what's on second, dude?
As we get ready for game number 4, regardless of that, Rainmaker is the name of the game. Actually, was it Rainmaker? Okay, I'm going to stop now. Either way, we're going to Piranha Pit. This is the first appearance of Piranha Pit in this particular in this whole Splatfest.
Yeah.
Splatboro tournament, whatever it is. I forgot the marketing. You can follow me on Twitter at Stu the Announcer. Go ahead and yell at me.
Follow me at UNOSEES, UNOES _.
There you go. And now that we got our shameless self-promotion, and let's get back to the matter at hand, is this preparation for the match against Empire Arcadia, which is a little crazy to think about.
Stu, tell him a little bit about it, please.
Say what?
Stu, tell him a little bit about it.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Since we have 4 people here that are on the team that are going to fight the winningest esports team of all time in a Splatoon 2 best-of-7 crew battle, we are working out the details of exactly what modes are going to be played and when with Oblivion as we speak, and we will keep you abreast of that situation. But right now, these squids are going to be taking each other out.
Right in the
Time to get grilling in the Piranha Pit.
You see, it's funny how this is like the first time I'm seeing this stage. Isn't that funny? Like it's such a beautiful stage, well constructed, and it's a shame that we're just now seeing it. But nonetheless, we're doing it on one of the most exciting modes, I think, in my opinion.
Oh, that's a team wipe!
Whoa.
Pixely, That's So, and Astro, keep it going, kid. Just like that, That's So is charging in. And this newly remodded stage, they just took 75-0 lead right off the jump.
That's exactly what you want in Rainmaker. You want to take out their whole team so you can just grab that Rainmaker and push to the end zone.
That was about this. That was about the Splatoon equivalent to what we're used to seeing in Philadelphia. Just juice blaze through those stocks so quickly. I mean, hey, I'm not saying he did it against you, my friend. I'm saying. Although he did do it against you once. But regardless of that,
Stu, see me in Ultimate, dude.
Dude, I know you run my fade and smash. Believe me, I know. Like, I admit that.
No, you got it in commentary, boss. See, man, we all have our anyways. My bad.
No, man, I was going with the full on, yeah.
Yeah. But basically, you see, what we have here is Team Astro still has the Rainmaker. Still. But finally, Raptura takes him out with that bubbler.
Yeah, the Bloblobber is one of the... I mean, it can be a thorn in the side of some teams, and right now, not really... they have found an answer for it, and that was to just get as many points as you possibly can at the beginning. Raptura and company trying to make a dent in the score, and they have gotten their score up to 14, but they're getting pushed back by the special being employed, the suction bomb launcher.
Wow.
And they're actually making a push. They've taken the lead. Are they going to get the kill here? Raptura! Oh, not quite. What? Denied at the very death by the Dapple Doolies of Pixely. And that's a team wipe. They're going to have to reset this thing and fast.
What?
Or are they going to push it out?
What a sneak around by Raptura, though. Can we talk about that lining? Literally, everybody was pushing on the right side. Raptura saw that, took the Rainmaker to the left, and got his team all the way up to 6 remaining points. Fantastic play.
No, that was Astro's team charging in like a bull, and Raptura playing the role of Mad and doing so brilliantly. Astro's team, they're going to have to almost get a knockout here. Yeah. Well-employed Inkwall to provide a little bit of defense for that Bloblobber to eventually get the kill.
Absolutely, and as we're seeing it here, blue team might have popped the bubble, but it's still at a standstill. It's like we're watching one of those old, cowboy movies.
Yeah, this Piranha Pit ain't big enough for the both of us, cowboy. Right. And Snorlax guy taking many of his teammates' support for sure, but he's sitting right now with that Neo Splash-O-Matic that's not going to do much at long range, and Astro makes him pay, wins the battle of distance. That's So, and Pixely have a combined 29 splats in this match thus far.
And Astro trying to make a play happen here with the
Rainmaker. Oh, he gets caught from behind by Muddy.
Unfortunately, Muddy was right there. Muddy was right there to take him out.
Muddy is an absolute snake in the grass. He knows exactly how to pick his lines. That's So with the double, denying.
Where's the third one? Where's their...
Oh, no, they think they got it. Oh, Astro trying to get in Muddy's face. They've taken the lead, and they got the knockout. Astros goes, oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Astro's team ties it up at 2, and championship glory could yet be in sight for Team Astro.
Absolutely. We are seeing a repeat in history here.
I mean, look at the kill totals right there. Pixely with 9, Astro with 10, That's So with 13. That was some remarkable gameplay by both of these guys, and by all three of them, really. Muddy, I mean, they did incredibly well to get the score down to 6. Raptura with some incredible maneuvering with that Rainmaker, which again does slow you down just slightly, but it was Muddy and Snorlax guy providing that diversion, which eventually was caught at the very end, and that wound up being what saved the tournament hopes for Team Astro. So well spotted, and eventually the drive-through. Teamwork makes the dream work, Uno, and nowhere was it more properly exemplified than in that final play to get the knockout victory.
It was such a fantastic way. They took out 2 out of the 3 people. Muddy was just respawning. They were already in position, ready to take that Rainmaker all the way to victory. Fantastic.
As we're getting set for game number 5, one of these teams is going to ride the tower to glory on Starfish main stage. Now, we have seen Team Muddy struggle on tower control before, but can they exercise their demons here? They did get a game 5 victory against Team Baki.
Yeah.
However, can they do it against Team Astro? These are 2 players, all 3 of the unanimous selections to the Bros Calamity Squall Stars are in this matchup. This is what Philadelphia Splatoon has to offer. Welcome to Game 5.
On tower control 2 out of all modes. This is going to be a one hell of a match.
Pixely will draw the first blood, it seems, and it's an early tick. I don't think that 96 left is going to hold up. They do eventually get it down to... They get 12 on the board with that, and Pixley getting right back on, but he's going to get blown up by that suction bomb, and that is a team wipe for Raptura, Muddy, and Snorlax guy, 2 of the unanimous selections to the Squall Stars team. That's So being a late addition, and Astro being the other unanimous selection. So this is some high-quality stuff that we are seeing from all of these gentlemen. Snorlax guy, I mean, hey, man, you need not every player can be a Michael Jordan. Sometimes you need a Tony Kukoc. And that is exactly what Snorlax guy provides with that Neo Splash-O-Matic to go alongside Raptura's Sloshing Machine and, of course, the Tentatek Splatter Shot of Muddy.
Absolutely. And what we're seeing here is great back and forth gameplay by both players. Muddy taking out somebody with the Tentatek, and he's just it's his team that's in control right now.
He's very wary of Astro's heavy splatling, however. He's been doing that work with it. He's chasing him down with the Inkjet and eventually gets the kill, so perhaps a push in store for Muddy and company. They're down. They have 40 points on the board, and they're cutting in hard. And right now, Astro's going to have to do more than that with the heavy splatling, as well That's So with the Splatter Shot Pro and the Dapple Doolies of Pixely. It's been a setup that's worked so well for them thus far, but it remains to be seen whether or not they can get the kill.
Wow.
That's So gets knocked out by that Splatter Shot Jr. Oh my gosh, it could be a knockout victory. Muddy's so good at maneuvering, gets the counter all the way down to 18 remaining. The score is 82-18 on the field in favor of Team Muddy.
Team Astro has to find a way to get their points right back on the board, because they just went in. They just literally just took control and just started killing everybody. And so now splatting everybody.
There's something to be said about the maneuverability of Muddy, as well as of Raptura, who we did eventually see get splatted there. But it provides so much on defense as well, and he just jumped right to him. And there was Muddy waiting like the snake in the grass that he is. And normally that's said in a negative light, but trust me, it is all positive. Absolutely. For Muddy. That just describes his game, quite frankly. I mean, there's nothing more poisonous than that snake in the grass, and boy, oh boy, does Muddy have a dangerous bite.
It's insane how you think about this. Like, how are they going to come back in 1 minute, 49 seconds of the game? What is going to be their strategy? And we're going to see it here. Team Astro trying to push, but
Astro got caught with the auto bomb.
it's crazy. I feel like they're always ready in position. Raptura and Muddy are always ready in position. As a Snorlax guy with that great support, always in the back, ready to you know what I mean, interrupt something. And here we are.
Snorlax guy has been pretty efficient. I mean, he's only gotten killed 3 times, and he's gotten 6 splats. He's not afraid to charge in guns blazing, and he provides that close distance sort of get in the face that you might need to engage another player, while Muddy and Raptura take care of you from the side. They've combined for 27 splats thus far, and right now, Astro and That's So, they've been very well neutralized by this 3-man side that could very well be crowned the local champions here. Now, of course, Astro and That's So will be joining them on the team in opposition of Empire Arcadia. So, of course, all will be forgiven. But right now, Muddy asserting their dominance. Really, this is just for the tournament pot.
Honestly, I feel like if the tides do not turn soon, it's going to be Muddy's team to take the victory here with only 22 seconds left on the clock.
The tide could be turning. Will Astro's team go out with the undertow, or will they surf their way to victory on the tower? We have 12 seconds left. Hang on to your hats, folks. They're trying to cut into the score, and it looks like they will, but they have to go through some checkpoints. Muddy tagging him from the side, and that's a double. Will it be a team wipe? And indeed it will be. Muddy is absolutely filthy. And just like that, it's a Game 5 victory for Team Muddy, who looks like they will go undefeated for this 5-game clip and indeed throughout this local tournament.
Fantastic play. But I feel like the highlight of that game was their first push. You know what I mean still? Like, they literally were just going on a tear. I don't know if you ever played the game Rampage. But
not in a minute, but yeah.
That's what it looked like. It looked like Lizzie, George, and Ralph literally all just going in on that first, on all the buildings on the first run.
I gotta say, the gameplay that we just saw, really not just from Muddy and Raptura, but also from their opposition in Astro and That's So. That's the sort of thing that wins games. It's the sort of things that wins tournaments. And not just that, Uno. It's the sort of thing that topples empires. Folks, we're going to take a quick break as we get the team set up here for our next matchup. But I'm going to ask you, Jay Moosh, one time.
Moosh, you want me up?
Hit him with the ad slides. Go ahead and check us out on the Gaming Lab _ on Instagram, Facebook.com/the Gaming Lab on Facebook, Bros Calamity. That's where you can check out the VoDs from this tournament and tournaments past. Hey, we play a little bit of Smash Brothers. If you didn't know, you're going to want to check that out and see how we do up in Philly. See some of the #1 in the region juice. See him take on some of Philly's best and indeed the Northeast best over on YouTube.com/Bros Calamity. And of course, Bros _ Calamity on Twitter. Folks, we're going to be right back. I'm Stu, the announcer. Thanks for joining us here at the laboratory. We'll be back right after this.